Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's People to People with Rodney Grimes. Okay, here we go. We live and moving. We on YouTube. We on Facebook Live, and we are excited to keep moving forth and keep bringing you information that's making a difference in your life. It's all about you, me, us together doing things that that's going to empower us. My topic today is what do drugs have to do with it? Now y'all gonna have to work with me on this because this is important for all of us to pay attention to this information that we're going to discuss today. A lot of times when I start off with my topics, is based on conversations that I have with people throughout the day, or some individual who called and said, "Yo, can you do a topic on this or that?" And it's all about empowering us to move forward. Before I even get into that, I want to read something that's on my spirit to read, and it's something that it started my day off. And so, if I can just share it with you real quick, this is out of the Jesus Calling. It's like a daily word devotion. So I'm gonna read this one thing to you, and I hope that this will be a good message for many people who are listening, and it'll do something to encourage you to keep moving forth and have positive thoughts and energy in your life. Seek my face, and you will find all that you have longed for. The deepest yearnings of your heart are for me, intimacy with you. I know because I designed you to desire me. Do not feel guilty about taking time to be still in my presence. You are simply responding to the tugs of my divinity within you. I made you in my image, and I hid heaven in your heart. Your yearning for me is a form of homesickness, longing for your true home in heaven. Do not be afraid to be different from other people. The path I have called you to travel is exclusively right for you. The more closely you follow my leading, the more fully I can develop your gifts. To follow me wholeheartedly, you must relish your desires to please other people. However, your closeness to me will bless others by enabling you to shine brightly in this dark world. I read that, and I needed that to kind of keep me motivated moving throughout what's been going on and what I'm experiencing as I try to be a positive influence in the community, on social media, and in many people's lives, and mainly in mine, as I move forward to try to do things that's positive to help me be a better person and also be a better example and help other people. Okay, so I got to get into this topic. What do drugs have to do with it? I know a lot of people say, "What? Why is Rodney talking about?" No, let me tell you something. This conversation I had with a gentleman while I was on my day job, and it was real powerful, man. We got to talking about just some of the things that's going on in the community and how different leaders are handling things, and how we as a people deal with different type of drugs, and then we find people becoming addicted to prescription drugs, and then we find out we got our young people getting involved in drugs, and also our elderly are being put in position where they're becoming addicted to drugs as well. So y'all work with me, and I just want you to pay attention as we go. Now, one of the things I was thinking while I was riding to the studio, and that was, I said, we start off giving our kids drug at a very young age. When we give them a baby aspirin, or we give them some cough medicine, when we giving them stuff to make them feel better, that's what we tell them. Oh, we giving you this, and you're going to feel better, you know. And so we start establishing this with our kids when they're young, and so we start to programming ourselves to tell our children, when I give you this cough medicine, you're going to feel better, instead of doing the natural healing things, which causes us to start to become dependent upon some type of man-made drug. Most cases, that's where the real addiction comes, when you start to tampering with something that wasn't naturally made by our creator, Jah. Okay? Now, some people don't believe in God. That's fine. You can, believe whatever you want to believe. But I can tell you this. This earth has everything you need to keep you alive, healthy, well, and safe. You just got to go about it in a proper manner and use it properly. So, when I talk about what do drugs have to do with it, I was just thinking, after having this conversation with this gentleman today, it was like he was talking about the opioid crisis that's going on, and that a lot of people are navigating to the Washington, D.C. area, and we're now looking in our parks and areas where you walk around and you're seeing these homeless people out there pitching tents outside in the parks where they're living, right? Now, just think about this. Why are these people doing this? A lot of these people are having drug issues. A lot of them. I know some myself. But what are we doing to help them? Are we condoning this action? Is our country coming to a point where that's how we function off of drugs in order for us to maintain? Now, we got a lot of people that will come to this area based on the fact that we have a lot of resources, like feeding them, giving them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, if you think about in the Washington, D.C. area, and when I say what do drugs have to do with it, I want you to really, really pay attention to this, right? I want you to pay attention to this. Y'all got to excuse me because I just saw a message come on my phone, so I'm hoping. I don't know what that is. I got to get back to that because it just took me off. But what's so funny when you think about what's going on, and I'm just going to talk about it in the metropolitan area of D.C., over in Washington, D.C., we got a lot of situations where we got guys, and male and female, living in these parks, okay, and they're building tents, and you got to think about this. How are they disposing their waste, their physical waste, their foods, and these things, which is really now causing a rat problem. Okay? Think about this. Okay, what do drugs have to do with it? A lot of these people have drug issues. And how do we deal with it? We allow them to be in the parks when we can send money to billions and billions of dollars out to other places. Why can't we focus on places that, instead of we commercializing marijuana, let's commercialize a place that we can help these people who have these drug problems. Let's don't make it so that it's easy for them to survive off the drugs, because it really creates a real bad environment for us all the way around. We have in Washington, D.C., there's certain areas got a rat problem. Okay, where did the rats come from? The rats is coming because they're being able to eat. They're being able to reproduce. What is causing this? You know what's causing it? We got all these people that are homeless, and majority of the homeless people have some kind of addiction, some kind of mental addiction or mental problem, right? Instead of us really focusing on that, we're allowing them to sit out there, and this is building up. Okay, let's get off of that for a minute. I want to just go back to just talking about even what we do with our children. Okay? We get to a point that we start to go to our children and we said, okay, I'm going to give you this cough syrup. The cough syrup make them go to sleep. The next day, they ain't feeling good. And mommy, daddy, can I get some more of the cough syrup? We give it to them. And what happens? As they get older, as soon as they feel like they're not feeling well, they run to the store and they get some medicine off of the shelf. And sometimes they have a tendency to overdo it. A lot of the things that you you consume and put in your body, you can become addicted to it. You can become addicted to it. Many years ago, I'm not gonna call any individual's name, but I had some certain friends and family members I know that was indulging in drug activity, and I always wondered, what is it that make you want to go to do something that you're gonna put in your body that's going to destroy your well-being? You know, I had somebody very close to me that I thought would never ever hit me over some drugs. It was no way that I would ever did that. I had somebody do something to me that was very close to me, that stole something from me over some drugs, and I know that this person loved me. We don't really talk about these things today because it's not something that is very pleasant to discuss, but it happened. I remember, and even myself, I was no different from many people that every now and then, trying to fit into the crowd, I tried to indulge in different activities, doing some things. I just was blessed by God that He made it so that I never wanted to be addicted to anything. Now, I have some addictions that I work on, but they ain't no cocaine, ain't no marijuana, ain't no drinking, it's no opioids, ain't no pills, no nothing. I can't function like that. I can't function like that. I used to see guys running through the alley and they were high and they couldn't even hardly stand up, and some of them had already urinated on themselves. And this is a way that you want to spend your evening? What do drugs got to do with it? A lot. I'm thinking about here, we want to legalize marijuana, and we have a lot of people in jail over marijuana. Now, marijuana is a naturally grown substance that it just, when you burn it, it gives off this chemical reaction to you, okay? All right. But after I started talking to different people, and I know a lot of ex-drug dealers who told me how they chemically enhance things to make money. What drugs got to do with it? You know what drugs got to do with it? But a lot of times it destroys us. It destroys families. It destroys relationships. It destroys opportunities. We are in bad shape with the drugs. But we got to really pay attention to where we're going with this. And it's getting worse. Just like the liquor many years ago, it was illegal, right? But then what they wanted to do, they wanted to legalize it so that they can make money off of it. You're getting certain people in power, certain people start to say, okay, we can legalize this, we can legalize that, because they like to indulge in it. And if they get a group of them together to say, yo, it's okay because we can make a lot of money off of it, they're not thinking about the young people of our tomorrow. They're not thinking about their future. We got to get this drug situation under control. We got people out here, man, I'm telling you, is dying. They just dying for no reason. And what really puzzled me? You want to know how powerful these drugs are? That a person will see an individual whom took a drug and OD'd off of it, and another person who have the drug habit will make a decision, I want to try it too. I would, if I could had some individuals in here today with me, some recovering addicts or individuals who probably still was indulging in these type of things, I would ask them, do you want to live or do you want to die? I want to live. I think that God gave me this life for me to enjoy, not to suffer, not to destroy it. And I believe that a lot of people, when they indulge in a drug activity, they are looking to die. They want the pain to go away of life. They don't want to deal with the facts and the truth of the matter. We as individuals have to be conscious. Here I have a mother, 91 years old. My mom takes I know it's more than 10 pills a day. And she does this because the doctors give it to her. Many times I see my mom is sluggish, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you, and let me say this, I'm not telling nobody to stop taking their medicine. I'm not telling you that. But I'm going to tell you, please be conscious about when the doctor give you another medicine, another prescription to take. Because if you got more than one doctor, they're not talking to each other on the phone. Oh, I'm getting ready to give Rodney another pill. They're not calling each other. They talking about the situation that you brought to the table, and most of them, I guarantee, are not asking, give me a list of everything that you're taking and let me do my research before I give you this new pill to see what the side effects is going to have on you. When we think about these things, I'm telling you, we run into these problems on the regular. We have a lot of individuals that as they get older, then they want to know why their kidneys and their livers and their hearts and all these things stop working properly. It's because we indulge in these type of activities with this drug situation. It's really, really important for us to pay attention to it. It's important that our young people are becoming aware of what's going on. If anybody out there want to join in the conversation, the number is 703-752-6120. 703-752-6120. Please feel free to call in. If you know somebody out there that's struggling with drugs, you got to try to get with them and give some conversation and give them that unconditional love so that they can understand that they can get off the drugs and they can take care of their bodies and they can find that, that super high that they're looking for. Let me tell you something. I know one way you can get it. I get it many times when I just get in a situation where it's me and God. Now, if you're not a believer, that's okay. But I'm just telling you for me. Many times I can just get high off of a prayer, especially when I bless somebody and do something to help somebody. It's nothing like that. I mean, that high right there is a high that I can enjoy, and it don't do no damage to me, no damage to anybody else. What I worry about is when I see people having to use cocaine and they using embalming fluid. Think about that. You smoke embalming fluid or marijuana. This is stuff they're putting in the body to preserve people. Do you know if you drink that stuff that it'll probably blow your guts up? So you imagine what's happening, what kind of chemical effect it's having on you when you smoke it? Do people understand that your brain be getting fried? Now, that's one thing that a lot of people, they think that because you might smoke it once or twice, oh, I'm okay. Well, let me tell you something, how powerful God is. When he designed the brain is the only thing, let me tell you something, man has not been able to duplicate. He cannot take a brain out of another person's body and put it in somebody else's brain. Don't think they haven't tried. I'm sure they have. They probably tried to take a brain out of one person and put it in another person's body. No. The Frankenstein movie, it haven't really happened. And if they tried it, it didn't work. I can almost guarantee that. See, it's several things that God got under control that we can't mess with. One is the sun. Nobody's going to fly up to the sun and go sit on it. It ain't happening. And you're not going to be able to reproduce the brain. You might do a little bit of copying, but you're not going to be able. The brain is so unique and so powerful. Now let me get back on track with that. What drugs got to do with it? Drugs fry your brain. When you do things chemically in your brain, you got these little pockets in your brain, and some of this stuff you can look up because this is how I learned it. I'm not a doctor, nor a teacher, I'm just a motivational speaker. I'm not a preacher. Some of the things I just be trying to tell you because I use common sense, and then I Google it. So, do you know when you smoke chemicals and put it into your mouth and it goes into your blood system, it starts to go into your brain, and you got these little sockets in your brain that they fill in different areas when certain things, like if you had pain, it triggers things. But when you high, you want to know why people are acting so crazy? Because the things are not going in the proper pockets. They're not going where they're supposed to be. It's all over the brain. You got it shooting all over the place. You wondering why a woman would take her baby and put it in the microwave? Why would a father stab his own son? Why would a sister steal from her daughter piggy bank? Why would a beautiful woman who was educated in school turn out to be a prostitute in the street? Man, we got to know, what do drugs got to do with it? A lot. Many of us get out here and we come and we find ourselves in bad situations. And then let's talk about just the system itself. Look how many people they lock up. Now, most of us are not chemical scientists and you know, sit down and learn how to, I'm going to take this and add that and produce the drugs. These are done by people who got skills. And they know what it'll do to you. And they, in many cases, they go to the low income neighborhoods and allow it to penetrate them because they feel like their lives are not worthy to be looked upon as a jewel. And that, okay, I want to make millions off of this group of people. And they don't care. What happens to you? What drugs got to do with it? It destroys your families. It destroys jobs. It destroys people's lives. We got to be careful. You know, I was talking to the gentleman, man. We was just hitting some powerful notes. He was telling me about some of the things about, you know, how people drinking syrup. I'm not syrup. They drinking cough syrup, right? And they mixing it. They mix it so that they can get high. Let me tell you something. When you're doing that, it's not designed for your body to consume these things. We got people out here, and then let me tell you something else. When the drugs are being distributed from doctors to patients, we got certain people on certain levels that are able to consume drugs legally and be legally functioning addicts. Go to work and tell you whether you can have a job or not today. It's a lot of people like that. And then we got a lot of people on the street who just trying to survive. They just want to have a nice day, who have got become addicted to these drugs, and now they out there and they doing any and everything to get them. As a society, we have to become conscious of what we're doing to each other and what's going on. What do drugs have to do with it? It has a lot. I'm not telling you to stop taking the drugs that the doctors prescribe to you. I'm telling you to pay attention to them. Find out what kind of drugs you're taking and if they're addictive or not. Find out the long-term effects. Find out what happens if you take a bare aspirin and take a Tylenol and an Advil all at the same time. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just saying you got to know that there's some kind of effect. It's important for us to pay attention to that. It's important for us to really, really be conscious of what is going on with us. And how are we dealing with this situation? Let's deal with the truth. The truth of the matter is this. You got many, many individuals out here that have skills that they cannot function with because they are on drugs. And drugs are put in all kind of different things. I remember a long, long time ago, somebody had shared with me that Coca-Cola used to have real Coke in it. They removed it, from what I understand. But back in the day, man, hey, everybody wanted a cold Coca-Cola. But believe me, if you check the history of it, it used to have coca in it. And anything that has any type of drug in it will cause you to become addicted. Now, I'm not saying that Coca-Cola still have the drug in it, but I know back in the day, if you check the history of it, it did. And I'm not trying to say you can't drink Coca-Cola. You can drink whatever you want. I'm not mad at Coca-Cola. You know, this is not me, a commercial me trying to build them or break them down. I'm just talking about some facts. I'm telling you right now, you got to be careful what you consume and how you consume it. Everything becomes addictive if you repeatedly do it. And things that go into your mind and body, I'm telling you, it disrupts your everyday functioning. Why do you think we have so many schizophrenic people? Come on. What do drugs have to do with it? It has a lot. Be conscious of what we're doing. We have to be naturally inclined to be able to deal with these things that we deal with on a regular basis. We have to use the right things to heal our bodies. You know, when I think about everything that's going on, man, we just gotten to the point that we really think that some people think that they're like God. They want to create this and create that. I remember many years ago, I think it was back in the 70s, 80s. I remember it was a drug that was put out. It was almost something. It was called ice. I remember. It was called ice. That thing was way more powerful than crack. You know, they had to get that stuff off the streets. You know why? They couldn't make no money off of it. The first time people smoked it, they was dying. That's why sometimes you got to pay attention to what's going on around us and how we getting exposed to different things. I'm not, you know, I don't want to point no fingers. Let's just, we got common sense. We know darn well the little dude in the projects is not making ice. He's not making crack. He's not doing none of this. You know what? He's getting this from different other sources who don't really care about anything other than financial gain. We got to be careful how we going about the drug situations. A lot of people may not like what I'm saying, but I'm speaking the truth because I do not want my grandchildren being exposed to this type of environment here in a country where we supposed to be walking around free and being able to do whatever we want to do that's by law to enhance our futures. It's important that we pay attention. We got a lot of individuals have been in bad situations. I mean, families been destroyed based on the fact they started off with a baby aspirin and went to another type of pill and so forth and so on. What the drug have to do with it? It's about knowing the truth. Knowing the truth. A lot of things that you put in your body you need to be conscious of. Again, I'm not telling you not to follow your doctor's instructions. I'm not telling you that. But I am telling you this. When your doctor gives you a new medicine, make sure you tell them about all the other medicines that you're taking. Let them know if you're having some type of side effect. Because this is where your addictions start to come. Oh, okay, I took this pill, I took that, and I feel good today. Okay? But what happens when you wake up in the morning? How do you feel? Or are you able to go to sleep at night? How do you feel? What happens when you're doing this at 30, you taking all these different type of drugs and consuming these type of things, and then when you're 60 and 70 and you ain't doing it no more, now you want to know why you're falling apart. These are things that we have to be conscious of. What do drugs have to do with it? A lot. I just decided to talk about it today because the conversation really hit home with me and the gentleman as we were talking while I was at work. And I was like, man, that's a powerful conversation. I really want to address it. You know, our bodies are our temples. Our bodies are made for us to reproduce and we're supposed to take care of it. Anything that you put in there. Now listen to me. So I know some people would say, listen to him talking about this, that. I smoke cigars, right? Did you think that God designed my lungs to be able to take in the smoke from a cigar? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So you might say I'm a hypocrite a little bit because I'm telling you not to consume things that's not good for you. But what I'm telling you is this: you don't want to be consuming something that's going to cause you to sell your house, your baby, your car, your loved ones, your relationships. You don't want that. I'm telling you, it's something we need to be conscious of. It's people to people with Rodney Grimes. Here I am. I'm just telling you, yo, I do this because I'm passionate about us trying to move forward as individuals, and we make a difference. We're making a difference in our community. I'm not telling you not to take your medicine. No, I'm not. I'm telling you to be conscious of it. You know, let me tell you a little story. When I was in the Marine Corps, something blew up on me, right? And it burned me. And it burnt me pretty bad. And I was in the hospital. And one of the guys who was laying in the other bed, he asked me, he said, "What are they giving you?" And I said, I was getting morphine. And so he said, so have you become addicted to it yet? And I was like, man, no, I'm not addicted to that. Nah. Because I'm not that type of person. I don't get addicted to things like that. Not me, not Rodney Grimes. So anyway, he said, well, if you're not addicted, why don't you tell them the day that you don't want it? I said, okay, I can do that. I can do that. So looking at my arm, it still has scabs and stuff on it, but it had started healing. It was healing. And so I was thinking, you know, man, I because I was on the morphine every day. I was getting the morphine either twice a day or once a day, but I don't remember, other than the fact I do know that they was giving it to me every day. So anyway, when the gentleman told me that, I was like, yeah, I can show this dude, man. I ain't hooked on no drugs. So what I did is when the corpsman came over to get ready to give me my shot, I looked at him. I said, man, I don't want that shot today. I don't want it today. And the dude that was laying in the bed across from me, he just looked at me. He said, oh, my man. I said, yeah, man, I don't need that. I said, I'm healing. So they had this cream that they rub on me, too, that it cooled the burning from the explosion where I was burnt. So it would cool it down. But see, the inner part of my skin on the inside, it was still tender, and when I wasn't on the morphine, I could feel like the fire was still just there. So as the day went by, I started to get a little antsy. And I think I lasted for maybe about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours. And now I started saying, yo, I want them to give me a shot. What the drugs got to do with it? Let me tell you. They was giving me the drug to help me deal with the pain. And as they was giving it to me, also my body was getting used to getting it. So after a few hours went by, now I was looking over at the other dude's bed, hoping that he was asleep, because I wanted to call the corpsman and tell him, yo, man, you need to come and give me that shot. Not because my arm was really on fire. It was because I just wasn't feeling like I was feeling when I get the shot. So finally the corpsman came by, he looked at me and said, Grimes, you all right? And I was like, yo, man, hey, give me my shot. And the dude, I guess he was just waiting. He was waiting. He said, oh, I thought you said you didn't need it. I was like, man, I don't want to hear that. And I used another word, but I was like, I don't want to hear that. Mind your business. So the corpsman gave me my shot. And I just went into a little comfort zone, and there I was. And the next day, I let him give me my shot, and I let him give it to me for a couple of days. But because I know that I'm not the type of person that like to be addicted to things, I was praying. I'm definitely a praying man. And I prayed to God, and I said, Father God, please help me, because I believe I'm addicted to this stuff. So what I did is I requested to speak to the chaplain. And the chaplain came in, and I told him what was going on. And he asked me, why did I think that I was addicted? And I told him. And so what he did is he talked to my doctors, and they changed my pain medicine from morphine to Demerol. And so by changing it, what it did is still gave me this sense of relaxation and so forth and so on. But I was able to then be weaned off the morphine and then the Demerol, and then they started giving me Percocets. And as I was moving forth, but see me, I started paying attention. I was like, yo, I do not want to be a junkie. I do not want to be addicted to no drugs. So I would start to praying and putting that cream on my arm and stop. I started taking the pills because I wanted to do this. I'm gonna answer this. I'm on live and they can hear you. You're on speaker. You calling me for? Is something wrong?
No, I just wanted to hear your voice.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to call you back. Excuse me, y'all. But anyway, so it's really funny. It's really funny when we are under certain care. We have to be aware of our own health and how we want to function. Don't let people just keep giving you stuff. I had one of my doctors recently. We talked about something over the phone, and I told her about my symptoms, and she said, okay, well, I'll mail you the medication. Okay, she mailed it to me. And when I took it, it was for some pain that I was having in my legs and in my back. I realized when I woke up in the morning, I really didn't want to get up. I was like, oh no. Because I had already it was some other pain that another doctor was giving me for something else. And I knew that was in my system. And I'm telling you, you got to be conscious. And then, so what I do is I try to tell my doctors, this is what I'm taking. This is what this doctor gave me, because I had different doctors for different things that I was being seen for. So it's so important that you make sure that you communicate with your doctors and let them know, because they don't call each other. What drugs got to do with it? A lot. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let me tell you something. I'm gonna take this time for to do a commercial. This is about the LIFEWAVE patch. Okay, the X39 is not a drug. I use it, I put it on me, and I wear it 12 hours on, then 12 hours off. Things like that, I tell you, they help you, they're natural, and they do not cause you to become addicted. I'm not telling you to stop taking your medicine and go to the X-Wave, the X39 patch. I'm just telling you the X39 patch work. That's a commercial. They are a sponsor, and we wanted to talk about that and let you know. If you want to try to feel better, you want to see some changes, check into it. Go to the website. You can go to the website, lifewave.com, people to people. And you can get some information on that. That's my spiel for LIFEWAVE, the X39 patch. For everybody just tuning in, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. Believe me, God is real, and He puts things on my spirit. I believe that I am my brother's keeper and my sister's keeper, and I love helping people and helping myself, and I love being high off of good things that are natural, not things that's going to have me addicted. I get a good feeling off of helping people and bringing people into the studio and just doing things that that put a smile on people's face. And believe it or not, you can get this without causing serious bodily harm to yourself when you're doing something natural. So I just want you to know, everybody that tune in, hey, you got to be conscious of what you're doing to your body, what you're doing to yourself. You got to make a difference. What do drugs have to do with it is our topic today. Be careful what you take it. Go to the natural sources. You know, I was told when you go in the grocery store, don't go to the middle of the aisles. Go on the outside and get all the natural things and see what you find out what these natural things do. God is amazing how He designed the world. We got broccoli and we got carrots and all different type of things that help you. Do you know that if you have a cold and you want to deal with your cold naturally, you could eat a clove of garlic? A clove of garlic will help you almost like you taking some cough syrup. You fix you get you some tea, or you get some hot water. You put lemon, ginger, and garlic in it, and boil it, and drink it. These are natural remedies. Now, a lot of people, what happen when they get sick? What they do? They go run to the little pharmacy areas and get this and that and take that, and what happens is most of the time it just knock you out. Do you know what be really healing you? Is when you go to sleep, that your body is in the healing mode. It's not the drug. It's more so your body will do what it got to do if you treat it right. What drugs have to do with it? A lot. It disrupts your life. It disrupts your relationships. It disrupts people's future. I hate to see a person that's out there begging for money. I can see if you're hungry. But if it's for the drug, man, I feel sorry for them. Because I know that at this point, it's out of control. It's the chemical reaction of their bodies thrown all off, and they dealing and waiting on a substance to make them feel better. Be careful. Be careful when you're indulging in these drug activities. And why would you want to take something that you know that you saw the next door neighbor? I never could understand this. Why would you see your next door neighbor sitting in the yard butt naked when it's snow outside, high off or something, and you want to know what did he take, what did he smoke? And it'll fall out of his pocket when he getting in his car after he done come down, and you'll find it and go right in the house and try it yourself. And check this out. The funniest thing, all drugs don't affect you the same way. Instead of making you get butt naked, it make you jump out the window. Believe me. I've seen drugs do different things to different people. One of my very, very dear friends, he's deceased. I will not call his name. And Lord, in my heart, God knows, I miss him so much. He had a massive heart attack, and I know what it was from. He was indulging in that cocaine life. And, you know, I really knew he was a good guy. I loved this dude. I really did. But I knew that that drug had him. And I prayed for him, and I even used to talk to him and tell him, say, yo, man, be careful what you're doing, bro. But after a while, if you consume too much of something, man, after a while, your body calls for it. Now, let me say this. I'm not a drug counselor or anything like that, but I can tell you, if you have a drug problem and you're trying to fix it, first of all, acknowledge that you have a drug problem. Then call and get some help. They got people out here that really care. It's some people out here that care about helping you. Put yourself in a position where you pay attention to what's going on. Start to live a life that you can enjoy. Don't put yourself in a position where you sitting out there and you don't know how you're going to eat the next day. But you more worried about getting high the next minute. I've seen people, man, miss funerals. I've seen people not go to the hospitals to visit loved ones because they rather get high. And then when a person die, they use that as an excuse to go get some more of the drugs instead of getting their lives together. What do drugs have to do with it? It can disrupt your life. It can disrupt everything. I know some people that and somehow or another that it affected my relationship with some people based on the consumption of something that altered their thinking. That's not good. Today, my prayer is for many people who have a drug addiction, that God would bless you and that you would find it in your will to be able to resist it and go get help. Some of the individuals who are just going into the hospitals for different things, be conscious of what they're giving you. Hey, it's a business. It is. And believe me, I ain't mad at everybody want to make money, but I don't want to make it off nobody else's health. I don't want to make it off of, somebody dying or putting their baby in the oven and cooking them because they smoked the wrong stuff, or they're selling their babies to little girls, to the nasty old guys who don't have any morals, and they just for a piece of some type of drug of some kind, heroin or coke, whatever, opioids. I might not have pronounced all of it right because I don't really want it in my presence. I don't want it in my family. I remember back when I was a young kid, they was going around and you could get blotted acid. They had something called orange sunshine and window pane. These little tiny little pieces of paper that they had a drop of something on it, which was acid, they called it, right? And many of us didn't know what it was and would take the little thing and put it under our tongue. Oh my God. I remember, I won't call the individual's name, but we did that, and we was running through this little area down by the river. We was running down by the river like we was, how you have those movies where you be running and seeing butterflies and the beautiful flowers and all that stuff. I think we thought that we was doing that, but we was in the dog park. So the next day, I realized after, I was like, you got to be kidding me. In the dog park, running like we was running through with the daisies and stuff like that. Okay, come on now. Work with me. How for something. Oh my God. And people that was out there selling it to you, some of them your own family members, giving it to you, and they don't even know what it's going to do to you. We gotta fix this. We gotta fix this. This is not good. Please, if it's somebody out there that has a drug problem, seek some help. Family members with your little kids, try the natural remedies. Don't start off giving them things that can make them become dependent upon these drugs that alter their thinking. These things are not good. If you know in your family you got a history of drug abuse, be conscious of your little children when you're giving these things. I don't care what it is. Go to your natural remedies. My grandmother used to help me deal with my migraines. I had migraines really, really bad. And I remember she used to use vinegar in a brown paper bag. Right? And I told, when I was in the Marine Corps, my headaches, they accelerated. They accelerated really, really bad. And I was telling one of the doctors about him, and I told him what my grandmother used to do, and he was like, vinegar and brown paper bag? He said, what? I don't understand it, but let me tell you what the logic to it was. The vinegar, as it soaked in through my skin, what it does, it actually thinned out my blood. So my blood going through the vein, which the vein, it contracted, that's where the pain comes in through the head. So what happened was, when the vinegar got into my blood system, it thinned my blood out a little bit. So it kind of eased the pain. That was the logic behind it. But this was a natural remedy. But let me tell you what they wanted to do. They wanted to put me on these pills. let me tell you, them pills was not gonna. I still deal with the migraines. So, what I'm saying is, you want to deal with things. Not all the time do you have to go and get a substance that's going to alter you for a few moments or a few hours. You got to be conscious of what you're doing. It's very important. What drugs have to do with it? A lot. What is a drug? Most of it is anything that don't really naturally supposed to go into your body. We put drugs in food. We wanted to know. I was looking at my kids. I'm like, why my sons are so much bigger than me? How they become 5'11", almost 6 feet, and I'm 5'7". Yeah, and they my boys because they look like me. But it's the drugs, the stuff that we put in the foods. I'm telling you, what do drugs have to do with it? It's all over the world. All over the world. We got to be careful what we consume and how we do it and what we put in our bodies. It's very, very important. I want to take this time to just say thank you to all my supporters. Thank you to everybody that's out there that's helping people to people maintain. We here at 1934 Old Gallows Road, Tyson Corner, Virginia, Suite 304. We're in the intelligence office. I want to take this time to say, if you're looking for a location, a nice location to have a little office area, very professional environment, definitely come out and look at the place. Phenomenal. Everybody worry about the traffic. It's traffic everywhere. And believe me, once you learn how to maneuver through it, it don't take long to get past it. So I just wanted to do that. Shout out to you, most definitely. If you have someone out there that's looking to intern, also tell them, yo, these are the ways that we keep our kids away from getting involved in the drugs. We give them other options. If you look around, how many recreation centers do we have for the children to go and get these extra skills and focus on their natural talents? We taking a lot of that away. And they have found themselves seeking different type of things to entertain themselves, like drugs. And I believe in many, many cases what happened is a lot of these individuals who did these mass murders and things of that nature, I guarantee you when they check them, they high off of something. You got to be high off of something to shoot a baby. Man, come on. You got to be high for something to take 1,000 people's lives or hundreds of people's lives for no reason. A lot of times it's in the chemical imbalances in our body. And now I'm not a doctor, okay? So don't think that I'm telling you something that I can prove that this person was high because that's why he went and killed some people. No. I'm just telling you that from my experience and seeing different people, that it's a lot of people who do some real stupid and crazy things because their mind had been altered by some type of substance. So let's get that clear. I don't want nobody talking about Mr. Grimes think he's the pharmacist or something like that. That's not the case. I want to also go back and I don't want Coca-Cola mad at me because I talked about that, but you can Google that. And and a lot of information you get, back in the day, that's just, part of the situation at the time. I know some people who have certain type of drinks right now that they straight up addicted to them. You know what they don't realize? It's something in it that makes you crave it. Do you know that that's also even like with cigarettes, nicotine? I remember a man told me I quit smoking cigarettes when I was 25 years old. He was like, yo, man, it tells you what it does to you, and it's addictive. So, you want to enjoy life, yes, but be careful how you do it. You want to do things on a recreational type situation, be careful. Be careful. Don't overdo it. And if you got a family member that's struggling, Don't turn your back on them. Open up your arms and whisper in their ear and tell them that you love them. Tell them that they still have a reason to live. Most of us, when we doing things to cover certain things up, that's because we want the pain to go away. That's why you would take 2 Tylenols. Most of the time, you don't take the Tylenol because they look pretty. You take them because of the way it makes you feel, what it does to you. But if we be conscious of what we're eating, how we living, resting our bodies properly, using the natural resources of the world, we'll find that a lot of times we will not have to move to a drug substance to help us be able to go to sleep. So, with that said, I just want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in. Shout out to all of the individuals out there. Yo, it's all about us moving forward and doing what's right. That's what People to People stand for. Our mission is to help get the word out, to change people's lives in a positive way. We want to talk about wellness. We want to talk about doing the right things. And so, believe me, it's up to you to make the difference in your life. It's up to you to make things right. What drugs got to do with it? Let's ask everybody. Let's speak the truth. Many drugs have sent a lot of our people to jail unnecessarily, trying to sell them and use them. And the playing field with the drugs is not equal across the board. We got certain people that can do drugs and get away with it, and we got certain people that can do drugs and go to jail. We got certain people that can sell them, and certain people can sell them and get away with it without any repercussion. You just think about that. It's what we do to make the difference. How we take care of ourselves. Everybody that tuned in, thank you so much. Remember, we got Motivation Monday. Let's talk about Wednesday and Date Night Friday. I'm not quite sure how we're going to be doing the Friday date night for a few months, but I got something working out. And I want to let y'all know, we looking for interns and people to come in and work at the studio. And we appreciate everybody. And don't forget the Cash App is the $RG1960. We do love to get support, and we definitely like for you to be a blessing to us so we can be a blessing to other people. As you see, the studio is moving and it's transforming, and we got quite a few things that's going on. I have a young lady in here that works faithfully, and we are trying to get so that we can really be able to have her to have a prosperous life in this platform because she enjoys doing it. So when you do bless the program, we make sure that we bless her and the other individuals who contribute to this process. We're looking for sponsorship. We're looking for investors. We're looking for your blessings. We appreciate what you do. So again, our Cash App is the capital R, capital G, 1960. We thank you and we appreciate you and love you. And y'all be safe as y'all go into the next day. And sometimes just ask yourself, what do drugs got to do with it? And be truthful about it. You'll find out sometimes you just need to leave it alone. Okay. So I think we out of here. And peace and blessings.